Hello, it's your boy Nicovelli. You on Nicovelli TV. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, y'all, at the end of this video. Now, I would like to talk about Mike Woodson, y'all, being in talks as returning back as a New York Knicks head coach. He's a candidate for the position, y'all. And that put a smile on my face, especially when we going through this craziness in the world, y'all. I don't even want to talk about it. We all know what it is. But this put a smile on my face, man, to bring me back to normalcy, man. Because Mike Woodson was the only coach that New Yorkers remember when we speak of a successful season. A season that brought us to at least a postseason, which we call the playoffs. It was Mike Woodson. He had a record of 54 wins with the Knicks that took us there, y'all. We had Carmelo Anthony, 63 points in the Garden. Think about it, man. Mike Woodson. All that happened under Mike Woodson. But things went downhill, man. Because the following year, 2014 season, Mike Woodson didn't have so much of a success, y'all. He had a record of 37 wins and 45 losses, and they fired Mike Woodson. And it's crazy, because if you look at Mike Woodson overall, his record overall, during the 2 years he was with the Knicks, his record stands at 109 wins and 79 losses, y'all. So I'm with it. Bring Mike back, man. Bring him back. Now, what I find quite interesting, right, is that in 2018, when we hired Coach Fizdale as a head coach, Mike Woodson applied for the job as well, but he lost to David Fizdale. He lost. And Fizdale wound up getting the job. And we all know when the smoke cleared, Fizdale didn't hold himself accountable. But what makes me quite pondering when I think of this situation concerning Steve Mills is that Fizdale was this close of having Mike Woodson work under him as an assistant coach. But Steve Mills put a block to that. I wonder why, man, because that would have been a good backed up plan. But according to the sources, they say that Steve Mills put a block to that because he thought it was a bad idea, for one. And he felt that if Fizdale wasn't successful, which he wasn't, that New Yorkers, concerning its fans, would want to rally behind Mike Woodson. Wow, man. I mean, that makes me want to dig in deep and find out what's the relationship like with Steve Mills and Mike Woodson. Do they get along? Because why would you clock block like that? Ain't nothing personal. New Yorkers want a successful season. And if the last person who coached the Knicks took the Knicks to the playoffs, and you want to give somebody else an opportunity to coach, which y'all did, and David Fizdale, y'all would have had a great backup in Mike Woodson. So I don't understand why that wasn't considered, or that wasn't a consideration of hiring Mike Woodson as an assistant coach. I don't get it. That also mean that we wouldn't have had no Mike Miller, and maybe Mike Miller probably would have been assistant coach to Mike Woodson. I don't get it. I don't know, but I just know I want the Knicks to get back on board to have a successful season. At least the postseason. At least that. You know? Now, when they spoke to Mike Woodson about him having a second chance to come back as a head coach, he said he would love that. He said, listen, look at his body of work as a head coach under the New York Knicks umbrella. His thing is that he wants the New York Knicks to want him just as much as he wants to once again coach the Knicks. So, I say this, give the man a shot. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. Hit me in the comments and let me know, how do you feel about that? Do y'all like the consideration of having Mike Woodson return back to the Apple under the New York Knicks as a head coach? Peace, y'all.